Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm Bobby Fouts. We begin with new information in a sting operation where a Minnesota senator and more than a dozen others were arrested for allegedly trying to solicit minors for sex. Now, federal prosecutors, they are asking the court to keep a former state senator, Justin Eichorn, in jail until his trial and after he allegedly lied to investigators and tried to conceal evidence. Prosecutors allege he responded to an online ad that was part of a sting, arranging to meet and have sex with someone he thought was a 17-year-old girl.
I'm going to say one thing that Justin said that you might not know. The decoy had told him that they lived with their aunt and that their aunt was gone till next week. And then Justin had asked if he could have sex in his car. Well, because he asked that, and he came here trying to have sex with a child.
Court records say the new information stems from a search of Eichorn's St. Paul apartment, which he lives in during the legislative session. Investigators found a handgun and ammo, but they say in a post-arrest interview, Eichorn said there was no gun there. While authorities searched the apartment, a person showed up and asked to retrieve a computer from inside. She was denied and left and declined to be interviewed by the FBI. Now, a judge has not yet ruled on the motion. Eichorn remains in custody, though Governor Tim Walz has not called for a special election for Eichorn's seat. Multiple candidates have already announced their intentions to run. Coordinated search efforts are underway for a missing college student, Renzo Bullhead. The Spirit Lake Tribe says that anyone from the public who would like to help with the search, you are asked to meet at the United Tribes Technical College. Now, Bullhead was reported missing last week. Search teams, they are actively looking in both water and land routes. His family says that he is a student in the welding program, recently engaged, and was contemplating a career in the military. Again, if you want to help with the search, you must attend a daily briefing each morning at 10 a.m. A Facebook group has also been created to provide updates. Well, on to the weather now. Let's check in with meteorologist Joseph Williams with what we're taking a look at. Joseph.
Yes, and you can see that the Dakota Magic weather cam is showing quiet conditions, just a light breeze. Temperatures, there is a bit of a disparity with the temperatures. We have a temperature of 40 in Jamestown versus 27 in Grand Forks and 32 in Detroit Lake. So a little chilly if you're heading out for this afternoon. And our satellite radar does show cloud cover building in from the west. It's mostly concentrated in eastern North Dakota, whereas western Minnesota is seeing sunny skies. Expanding the picture a little bit, we do have a frontal boundary that will bring some moisture into our region heading into tomorrow, and I'll go over those moisture chances in your first look forecast. But for today, temperatures will be in the 40s in Fargo. Looking at a quiet evening for the most part, just cloudy skies. And again, I will go over those precip chances for the rest of the week, as well as how long the mild temperatures will last in your first look forecast.
All right, Joseph, thank you so much. New for you at noon, a man charged in a deadly hit and run that happened in December will spend 4 years in prison. Alex Cruz was sentenced this morning to serve 6 years with 2 years suspended. He has already served 105 days. This crash happened just before 6:30 on December 23rd. 36-year-old Robin Krause was hit by Cruz when she was crossing the street near the 52nd Avenue Walmart. Police say that Cruz left the scene and his vehicle was later found at his workplace. Krause was taken to the hospital where she later died. Before sentencing, family members of Robin, they made impact statements. We'll hear more from them and have this full story tonight on Valley News Live at 6. Also new for you at noon, a former Bison football player accused of firing a gun at a house party last fall pleaded guilty this morning and was sentenced. Multiple witnesses tell police that Jaden Pickett got into arguments with 2 people before grabbing a handgun from his waistband and firing at the home. Pickett pleaded guilty to 2 counts of terrorizing and 1 count of reckless endangerment. A theft charge was dismissed. He is sentenced to 3 years, followed by 18 months of supervised probation. Multiple people were hurt after a crash in Monoman County last night. The Minnesota State Patrol says that a pickup was going north and an SUV was going south on Highway 59 near Waupun when they crashed just after 7 p.m. 4 people in the truck, they were taken to the Monoman Hospital. The driver and passenger in the SUVs, they were taken to Fargo hospitals. Everyone was wearing seatbelts and all are said to have non-life-threatening injuries. Troopers say that roads were icy and snow covered at the time of this crash. Well, the escalating court battle between the Trump administration and a federal judge who ruled against deportation flights goes before an appeals panel this afternoon. As Natalie Brand explains, it comes as a new flight landed in Venezuela in the early hours after the U.S. and Venezuela they reached an agreement over the weekend to resume flights.
The administration says it expects a consistent flow of deportation flights to Venezuela moving forward. But as the legal fight over recent deportation flights continues, the Attorney General says that the legal process will continue while they will also continue to arrest people.
Trump administration officials tell CBS News nearly 200 migrants, including alleged members of the Tren de Aragua gang, were on board a Sunday deportation flight to Venezuela. It comes ahead of a major court hearing this afternoon over the president's use of the 1798 Alien Enemies Act to expedite deportations, something administration officials have staunchly defended.
This is supposed to apply if the U.S. is at war with a country. You are saying you have evidence that the government of Venezuela is directing these gangs?
We are saying that TDA is acting as a proxy of the Maduro regime. This is how the Alien and Sedition Act applies.
But a federal judge directed the administration to halt the deportation flight stemming from that wartime law, raising concerns about a lack of due process for the migrants, a decision the DOJ appealed. The administration has not provided evidence or details about how gang affiliations were determined, with some family members of the migrants deported disputing ties to Tren de Aragua. And the administration is vowing to continue mass deportations of undocumented migrants.
No, I don't care what that judges think. As far as this case, we're going to continue to arrest public safety threats and national security threats. We're going to continue to deport them from the United States.
CBS News has confirmed reports the IRS is close to an agreement to share tax data to help immigration officials find migrants in the U.S. illegally.
While immigration is the administration's focus in court today, here at the White House, the president will be talking about the economy. He's scheduled to hold an event later this afternoon alongside the governor of Louisiana to talk about a new steel manufacturing project in that state. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
There are strict laws governing the release of taxpayer information, and an agreement between the IRS and the Department of Homeland Security to start sharing that information will likely trigger more challenges in the courts. The Fargo School Board is set to act on the contract of its new superintendent tonight. In late February, the board announced Dr. Corey Steiner will succeed current superintendent Rupak Gandhi, who is resigning at the end of this school year. Steiner's contract is for 2 years, with the district paying $220,000 to Steiner in year 1 and $225,000 in year 2. A renewal of the contract is possible, as stated in the contract. Well, spring burning restrictions begin today in Minnesota, and the DNR is restricting open burning because of dry conditions and increased wildfire risk. The restrictions apply to multiple counties. The DNR will not issue permits for open burning of brush or yard waste until restrictions are lifted. You are encouraged to use alternatives to burning, such as composting, chipping, or taking brush to a collection site. We have a full list of affected counties on our website, valleynewslive.com. Coming up on our news at noon, we'll explain how your doctor could be using AI to help treat you. But next, meteorologist Joseph Williams has your weather to help you plan your Monday.